I don't think he'll drop that far. I don't think the Raiders.
I think he could.
If he drops that far, the Falcons would be happy to pick him. But if not, they could go with Timmy Jurgen from FSU.
Well, they don't. It's not. They don't need interior linemen. They need outside linebackers.
They need something. They need anything on defense because their offense.
Yeah, I think this year it's going to be a heavy defensive favorite draft for the Falcons. Now our next pick is the number 7 pick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that really started to show a little bit of life towards the end of the season. Almost beat the Seahawks. They have the option of re-signing Darrelle Revis, and they have a QB in Mike Lennon, who's
Mike James.
Good. Mike James, Doug Martin, Vincent Jackson, who's aging. I think here you might go as far and say we need another receiver and pick Marquise Lee.
They could, or they can go to their secondary because they don't really have such a great secondary besides Revis.
Well, they have Darrelle Revis, and then
Revis is declining.
Deshaun Goldton, their safety.
As our Florida sports expert, Jeremy, are you bandwagoning the Buccaneers next year?
No, I am staying strong with my Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
Yeah.
1972 is a while ago, Jeremy.
So our next team is the Minnesota Vikings, a team that showed not much life. This is a really weird
in the
team.
Final minute of games because they would have been the 3 seed without the.
I think here you got to go QB.
Castle showed promise at the end of the year.
I'm done with all their QBs. I think you got to go QB here. I don't care who's left on the board. You got to go QB.
Could be Manziel. Manziel could be left at this point.
Yeah.
I think Manziel would be more than happy to go there.
I think Cordarrelle Patterson's a great player. I think that they have Adrian Peterson, and he'll be better than he was next year because he'll have less injury problems, hopefully. What's that running back that they had that played well at the end of the season? Gerhardt?
Gerhardt? Yeah.
Yeah, he's helpful. Their defense is all right, and I think they are a contender next year to win their week.
You know, this could be the spot for Derek Carr.
You think?
Yeah, that really could be. I think that might even be the better pick. I forgot about him.
I think he'd be a safer pick than Manziel.
Yeah, I
believe
think
it or not.
For Minnesota, they've had so many picks that have fallen through. All their QBs have fallen through. I think it's time they go with a safe pick instead of taking a chance on a very talented player that could get in a lot of trouble and cause you as a team a lot of trouble. And so for now, our next pick, we have the Buffalo Bills with the number 9 overall pick. What do you guys think they go here? They have a good QB in E.J. Manuel. They have a mediocre running game with Fred Jackson, C.J. Spiller. I don't really know if they have any sort of passing game.
I think, they have E.J. But
well, do they have any receivers?
Yeah, they have some. They have Robert Woods. They have Chris Hogan. They have Stevie Johnson. I think they're set at receiver. What I want to see them do, I think they would go with an inside linebacker or outside linebacker at this spot.
CJ Moses.
Kiko Alonso is so good though. They have him.
Yeah, I think they might look to improve on that linebacking core, or maybe even add a cornerback like Clinton Dix.
He's a safety. I was about to say that.
Safety. Yeah. You could add Darquise Dennard out of Michigan State. He played just awesome. Or you could. There's a variety of ways the Buffalo Bills could go about this. I think next year they're a real contender in the AFC East.
Yeah, you could be right.
E.J. Manuel is going to turn into a good quarterback. Our next pick, the Detroit Lions. You got a QB Matthew Stafford who can throw. He can put up all the stats he wants, but when it comes down to it, he's not very clutch. He can't win games. You got a receiver in Calvin Johnson, who's arguably the best receiver in the league. You got a running back,
Bell, Reggie Bush.
Mm-hmm. You're good on the. I think you're good on the offensive side of the ball. I think it's time to go defensive secondary instead of a D line.
Oh my God, their secondary is atrocious.
Right, and that's the biggest hole for them.
I think here you got to go with a safety.
And a new coach will help the Lions. They're a playoff potential team.
Yeah, I think they got to go Ha Clinton Dix.
You just like saying that.
Yeah, I kind of do. I asked my mom yesterday why she didn't name me Ha Ha. She said it never occurred. So now the next pick, Tennessee Titans, a team 7-9, really mediocre throughout the season. Played well, but not good enough to get to playoffs. They have a QB in Jake Locker who's somewhat proven himself. He hasn't done.
He was good
much.
before he got hurt.
Yeah, he plays well, but he always gets injured, as me and Isaac Washington fans know. Where do you guys think they go here? They have a running back in Chris Johnson, who's mediocre. They have a pretty good receiving core.
Well, Chris is going to test the free agency market, I heard.
Oh, so I think they might go running back here.
We'll have to see. I think they want to protect that quarterback because Locker keeps getting hurt every year. So
they might.
O-line looks like a good option.
If Jake Matthews fell that low, if Taylor Lewin, who's just awesome run blocker. He's 6'7", and there's a lot of ways they can go. They could go, I think, O-line or D-line. I don't think they go a skill position in the first round.
Yeah.
And all these predictions are for the first round, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. We're not covering every round.
Then we have the 12th pick, New York Giants.
They were atrocious.
You have Eli Manning in a QB who's, I think he's out of his prime. You have no running game. Your receivers are mediocre, middle of the pack. Your defense is, I think they have a very good defense. I think they have one of the better front sevens in all of it. John Beeson. What do you guys think they do here? I think it might be about time for Eli Manning to go.
No, I don't think so. I think they go with an offensive lineman because
I think he'll bounce back a little next year.
He wasn't protected a lot this year. They went offensive line last year, and maybe this year again. Maybe they'll go with a wide receiver to accommodate Victor Cruz.
Yeah, but you still have Hakeem Nicks, who's always a threat out there. So next for the 13th pick, we have the St. Louis Rams again. So they have the 2nd and 13th pick. And a couple years ago, I just want to make this quick announcement. The Seahawks had the 2nd and 14th pick. They had the 6th and 14th pick, but still relatively same thing. They picked Earl Thomas and Russell Okung, 2 elite players at their positions. Earl Thomas, Defensive Player of the Year candidate. This is a scary team that gets 2 high draft picks. Isaac, we talked about it earlier. They could go offensive line or wide receiver. Do you think they might go defensive back here?
Well, I mean, watching the Rams play the Seahawks, we won that game, but it wasn't really on our passing game. We won it on our defense. I think they need to focus on their offense. I just think they need to boost their offense because their defense can play well enough that it's really all about right now for the Rams. It's all about their offense.
So they might they might draft 2 offensive linemen
I think they just overload their offense. I think they get receivers. I think they get a lineman, maybe a tight end, something.
Maybe
everything.
Maybe go with
Safarian Jenkins.
Go with a tight end here or something.
Safarian Jenkins, who's a great.
Jenkins.
I do not want him to go into any other team. He's just a matchup nightmare.
Right.
Now with the 14th overall pick, we got the Chicago Bears. They just signed Jay Cutler to a mammoth deal, keeping him through the 2020 season. This team has Brandon Marshall, Martellus Bennett, and Alshon Jeffrey. They don't need
Jeffrey
any
just
more.
got named to the Pro Bowl today because Calvin Johnson won't play.
They got 2 Pro Bowl receivers, a good tight end, a Pro Bowl running back, a decent offensive line, not one I'd always count on, but they had an atrocious defense this year. I think they might go defensive lineman or defensive backfield here.
I think they give Jay Cutler the protection he needs and get another offensive lineman.
Really?
I think they gotta go defense.
I think they got to go defensive backfield here. In the division they are in, again, Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers and 2 passing teams. Then you got a team Minnesota.
The Bears have 2 of the best receivers in the NFL. They got to get a defense.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't want to waste talent like that.
Yeah, you got to put something in the backfield for the Bears on the defensive side, of course. Matt Forte is a good running back. Now we got the 15th overall pick going to the.
Speaking of Forte, he was snubbed by the All-Pro team. He had way better stats than Eddie Lacy, but Lacy made it over.
Now we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Big Ben probably going to stick around. You got Antoine Randall not Antoine Randall
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown, yeah.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, Emmanuel Sanders. What do they do here? They have a Levante Bell, their running back.
Le'Veon Bell.
Middle of the pack. I'd keep him around. I wouldn't draft a running back yet. Do they go and draft a defense? Do they try to rebuild that defense we all knew?
I think they got.
Yeah, they have to go defensive line, I think. They
were close to making the playoffs this year. They would have made the playoffs if Ryan Suckup wasn't such a suck-up, but they needed defense. That's what killed them earlier in the season.
Yeah, maybe this is where TJ Jernigan goes.
I don't think he falls this low, though. I think on draft day, because our picks probably aren't. We probably
got one right. We probably got one right. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Timmy Jernigan will go much higher in the draft than dropping all the way to 16th.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Or 15th. So, I think we're going to take a break now.
Yeah, I think it's time to take a break. Wow. It's been 56 minutes and we haven't taken a break yet, guys. Can you believe it?
Finish the rest of the draft when we get back, cover any other NFL news, and yeah. Sure.
We'll talk about NBA a little bit, too.
Little NBA. Sounds good.
Yeah, we'll be right back after this.
You can contact National Sports in a number of ways, through Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter with the label National Sports. We love to have you guys a part of our show and can easily join us also through text or call. You're listening to the National Sports radio station on Spreaker.com.
Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Show. I'm Jeremy Chanel. This is episode 13 of the Coast to Coast Show. It's been a long time, boys. It's been a long time.
Yeah, winter break was jam-packed. So now, you guys, let's just jump back right into our NFL draft analysis, where we think all the top players in the NCAA are going to go this coming up 2014 draft. Isaac, we got your Baltimore Ravens and the Dallas Cowboys tied for the 16th overall pick. You don't see that that often. They had the same division record, and then they had the same overall and winning percentage. So here we'll just assume each team gets the 16th overall pick. Fair? So we'll start with the Baltimore Ravens because they're first. Isaac, where do you think they go? You're our Ravens expert. They got Ray Rice. They got Joe Flacco. They have mediocre defense. They don't have an awesome defense. Do you think they go wide receiver here?
Well, their defense was good this year. They had no offense. Do you think
they go wide receiver?
Well, they will go something on offense. Could be an O-lineman. Keep in mind their offense was 30th in the NFL in touchdowns scored.
Yeah,
so I would imagine they go wide receiver.
They got to go something offensively because their defense. And let me see if I can find it real quick. It'll take me a second. I'll pull it up here. Their defense was something like 12th in passing yard, 12th in passing defense, 11th in rushing defense. So they were top half of the league in both categories. They didn't have a problematic defense. They might lose Suggs this offseason. So I think they got to go offense.
Yeah. I'm looking at this Mike Evans, 6'4". He's a matchup nightmare. And in that division, you don't really have any team with great cornerbacks. I think they got to go wide receiver here, open it up for Joe Flacco and Ray Rice. Allow Ray Rice to